Hello, welcome to Letters to December. So Letters to December is this little series that I'm going to do starting now through the end of the year. And it's just meant to share, I guess, the light of the season, of the holiday season that is approaching. Part of the reason I wanted to do this, and I really wanted to think about the lightness of the season, was because my holiday season last year was just not that good, right? It wasn't too long after, this time last year that my mom called and said, my grandfather was dying, and, that's where I was, over Christmas, was, there with him and with my family, and just a lot of craziness. Family stuff happened during that trip, so it was very, very stressful time. And as a result, it just didn't feel like the holiday season. I didn't feel like I had that lightness or that sparkle. And the thing is, I think that that's important. I think that, we're not always going to have, life is not always going to be grand. Things are not always going to be perfect. We have, lots of people have family things, maybe you don't have a lot of family, maybe you don't have family support, maybe you have drama in your family, whatnot. Like, this is a time of year that can be, I think, really, really stressful. And so I think that it is important to search out and find some of that light, like to bring in some of that lightness, particularly around this time of year, but also, I think throughout the year, but especially kind of this time of year, because I think it's so, family and fun and bright and colorful, centered and joyful, right? Like, we're all supposed to be joyful, but, we're all also stressed. So, yeah, that's really why I wanted to do it. So, welcome to the Letters to December. I hope that you enjoy this series that will bring us through the year end. And, yeah. So with that said, your homegirl is off to Pilates, and I want to show you a little something about going to workout classes here in Paris. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm off to Pilates, and one of the things about doing a workout class here in Paris is that unlike the US, where you just go to your workout class in your workout clothes, here that's not really considered socially acceptable, particularly because you're likely going to be using public transit, whatnot. So as a result, what is generally expected is that you show up to your workout clothes in regular clothes, and you change. I don't have the energy to do all that. So what I normally do is I put on sweats over my workout clothes. So I have these pants that are Uniqlo, and so I'm just gonna pop these on, and then so I have on this pull-up, which is actually from Roland Garros. And I could probably go like this. I mean, this is cute enough, but instead I might actually go with I think I'm gonna go with my little Varley shirt here. Yeah, this is better. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to wear this little Varley sweatshirt. I really like Varley. I have become a huge Varley fan. It is incredibly comfortable. And it's really great for wearing, going to and in and at your workout. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is how, in theory, you have to go to your workout class. And then I take all this off when I get there. And voila. I have a cold. So I'm going to try to do my best and work out, but I have a cold. Someone was like, oh, Adriel, you don't get a cold from being cold. Maybe you don't, but I do. If I am not appropriately dressed for the weather, I will get a cold. And sure enough, I was trying to just continue to run around without any socks on, and now I am sick. So, voila, that's my body for you. So, off to go do my Pilates, and then I'm going to come home, clean, and I want to kind of like get the apartment in like a little wintry mood, so I'm going to do a little bit of that. Okay, bye. So I'm searching for ribbons. I want to decorate like some of my candles with big like red ribbon. And I went to the store that's basically like the equivalent of Michael's, and they didn't have any. So I'm wondering if maybe it's more of something that's sold at a fabric store. But then it took me to it gave me directions to fabric stores, and they were like luxury fabric stores for you to like, you know, upholster your furniture. So I don't know. I think I might give up on this activity and go home and do some more research. Hello. So, still fighting my cold. About to take a whole bunch of medicine and then pass out on the couch. But first I'm going to go to the market. And because I am trying to be comfortable enough. Okay, so back up. First thing, normally I have a very firm rule. Anything I wear outside in Paris, like, I generally will not wear in my house. The exception to that rule is if I'm just going to, like, the market or the grocery store, so I'm not, like, sitting down on, like, the bus or the metro or anything like that, then the outfit was exposed to the air, you know, or frankly the coat was, so that is sufficient. So because of that, and because I'm sick today, I'm just wearing this little set. And this little set, I'm putting on some sneakers with it, so this is how I will go outside. But I'm really showing you this. I bought this set in DC a long time ago from this really great concept store that is no longer around. But the reason I'm showing it to you is mainly because, so I think the thing is, like, when I see people in the U.S., very often it's like the concept of comfort is like, you know, leggings and a sweatshirt or something like that. But really cute sets is in my personal opinion, like, if you get a really cute coordinated set, it basically, it takes the job. Like, you get the comfort, but you also get the chicness with it. The set always looks chic. Alright. I may be on too much cold medicine to be making videos, so I'm out. I'm gonna go to the market. I'm here in this house. I'm sick. And Selling Sunset has just kicked back off. So that's what I'm gonna do, is drink this tea, watch the Selling Sunset, hopefully feel better by tomorrow. My whole American pharmacy of products is here, as well as some products from my British pharmacy, because it wasn't until last year that I learned that France, you do have cold medicine here, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just not effective as the stuff you can get in the US or that stuff I bought from the UK, which is so strong. So strong. It works. But that stuff will knock you out for 12 hours. But it works. So day 575 of my cold. So currently, I actually recently I was texting with one of my friends this morning. I have quite a few friends and some family members who are going through like a really difficult time right now. And I don't know what it is about 2025, but it has been a rough year for a lot of the people that I know. And I was just listening to someone, you know, she's kind of venting this morning, and I was trying to just be, you know, supportive. But one of the things that hit me is that, you know, a lot of times when things are not going kind of in your favor, when you've hit a wall, when things are just like not going for you, I have found that a lot of times people want to put the blame for your situation back on you. You know, it's like, well, clearly you must have done something wrong to like end up in this situation. I think the reason why people want to do that is because we all want to believe that we have control over our lives and that we have control over our destinies and like the course of where things go. And so I think it's a hard thing for people to grasp that sometimes you didn't do anything, and just the situation just didn't work out. Like sometimes it wasn't some you know, personal failure. And I just find you know, as I was texting with my friend and just kind of listening to her, it just, you know, one of the things I wanted to remind her is like, you didn't do anything wrong to end up in this circumstance. Like, you were in an unfair situation and some things just didn't work out in your favor. But like, it wasn't like you did anything wrong. You did as much as you could in the moment. Are there things along the lines that you probably could have done differently? 100%. We are all like that, right? 100%. I think I do believe you have to very much see like where places I could have gone right in order to avoid being in this situation or whatever else. I've done things differently. I think that is very important. However, with all that being said, I still don't think that you know, I still think that there is more that is outside of our control than is within our control, and that is an important realization to make. So yeah. Alright, so I'm trying to look better than I feel. So I did a little bit of makeup, just a tiny bit, not a lot. So I did my standard Typology tinted serum. I wear type 4, that's my color. I did their under eye dark circle stuff, and this is color 3. I did my Merit Beauty, this is Citrine, and this is their little Day Glow, and I just did whoop whoop just to give a little glow on the cheeks. And then for my lip color, I did my Un Gretel, which you know I love this stuff and so much. For my eyebrows, I did my little Merit. This is the dark brown, and this is just like the little eyebrow pencil. And then for my mascara, I did this Swede cloud mascara. This stuff is, if you want a va-va-voom, if you like va-va-voom eyelashes, this is gonna be your jam. I'm trying, since I normally don't use va-va-voom since I don't normally use a va-va-voom mascara, there has been a bit of a learning curve. But if you like va-va-voom mascara, this is it, baby. This stuff is it. It's like, you know, one of the, you know, non-toxic brands doesn't have the bad stuff in it. So it's called their Cloud Mascara. It's black. They sent me this, and I am solidly sold. So yeah, I'm gonna get dressed, and I'll show you my outfit, and then we're gonna go for a walk, because you know what? A girl deserves her walk. This is about to kind of be a Greek tragedy. So obviously I was getting ready.
let me let you see everything. Getting ready to go out. I have on this sweater, which stays on. This turtleneck, which I think may be Uniqlo. And these pants, which I got from xoxo. I put this scarf with it, which my friend got me for my birthday a couple of years ago. So I had this like really pretty leopard print scarf. And then my little Poland bag. And then I had shoes. But the problem is I have been overwhelmed, just all of a sudden overcome by just exhaustion. Like so much exhaustion and a really bad headache. So even though I plan to go out and do my little walk and enjoy, you know, try to get some fresh air, I am actually too weak to go. So instead, I'm going to undress and go lay on the couch. Alright. And yeah. That's it. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Alright. So I'm beginning to realize that a lot of the French medicine must make you drowsy. So one of my friends sent me this. Like she literally had it delivered to me, which I know is so bougie. And literally it's like, yes, I'm particular. Take it at night. Literally, I feel like they have no cold medicine that I can take during the day. So that is why I was just immediately down for the count, was because of this, because I took this darn stuff and it just like knocked me out like hard. I'm still not fully awake and I have to take the compost out. But before I do, I just want to say one thing, and then I'm off. I'm going to go like lay back on my couch and then hopefully wake up in 2 hours and take the compost out. But in the US, I had a kettle, like the one you put on the stove, a teapot. And when I arrived in France, I learned that everyone has like the electric kettle. And at first I was like, what is this devilry magic that we have here? It's lovely. It's lovely. I don't know why we don't use those in America, but now that I have one, I think it's like the greatest thing on the face of the earth. So, yeah. So French cold medicine, always going to knock you out. So, like, don't take it during the day and only take your Tylenol, cold and flu during the day. Lesson very much learned. So, yeah, I'm going to be like a baby. I'm going to be wide awake at like 2 in the morning. Anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I think it's basically been me in my house. Have I left the house? I've gotten dressed to leave the house, but have I actually left it? I don't think so. Anyway, be well, my lovelies. Have a wonderful day. Bisous. Ciao, ciao.